Hello there friends, and we are in one of my properties today, a flat above a shop, and I'm going to be talking today about buying above a shop. Is it worth it? What's the pros, what's the cons of doing it, and if I had my chance to do it again, would I do that? So first thing first, buying above a shop is a little bit more tricky sometimes, especially with this flat I'm in here. This was a property I bought 20 odd years ago, and this is actually above a hairdresser's, which is a lot harder to get a mortgage on, it turns out. And this is the same for any sort of fast food place, dry cleaners. You're going to find it a lot harder to get a mortgage on something like this, just because lenders don't like it basically. So it does limit you quite a lot. Now, the good thing about renting out flats is you do get higher yields typically because you're buying them cheaper, and the flats are actually quite big. You still can get half decent rent on a flat. But, you know, like with this one here, it's actually a flat roof. So a flat roof you're changing every 10, 15 years. If you're doing it the old way, they've got like resin roofs now they can put on a flat roof that will last longer. But yeah, the roof can be a little bit more of a problem if you have a flat roof, I have found. One of the bad bits as well of renting out a flat above a shop is you're only ever going to get typically a certain type of tenant here, unless you're in the centre of London where that's sort of all there is. You're going to get perhaps a worse tenant. You're not going to get your local accountant, etc., wanting to rent a flat above a shop, especially if it's sort of, you know, a little bit more grimy, some of the shops. So you've got a lower grade tenant, and sometimes that can cause a few more problems, and you might be able to get a few more voids. They might not want to pay you quite as much in terms of, you know, like bouncing you for the rent. And that can be a problem, and definitely a negative about buying flats above shops. So one of the good elements about buying above shops is you're right sometimes in the heart of things. You can be in the centre of a high street, or, you know, a secondary high street, and a lot of people do like that. And, you know, if you're close to a train station as well, anyone commuting, this can be a good thing in terms of buying above a shop. But would I buy it above a shop again if I know what I know now after owning, you know, this property, which is a 3-bedroom flat in Sutton? And the honest answer is no. I would not buy above a shop again, because it's so much harder getting the lending on these types of properties. This property hasn't nearly gone up in the 20 years I've owned it, like some of the houses I've owned, which are a lot easier to mortgage. And I have had more problems. I had one person not paying me for 10 months on this property, and I've been very lucky as that's the only time really I've been bumped for that long on the rent. And it was just because we had a lower grade tenant, and you have less choices when you have, you know, flats above a shop. And this particular shop, you know, it's rear access, it's up a metal staircase, so a lot of people straight away are not liking that so much. So even though I make good monthly money on this property, the capital appreciation where the money is truly made when it comes to property has not nearly been as good, and that is definitely a massive negative for me, and is the reason I would never buy above a shop again. And I actually much prefer houses over flats. As any problem with it, it's my problem, but where you have like shared parts, there's always argument to have. No one wants to pay their fair share, and yeah, I just really don't like that element about owning flats. So this is what I mean about the rear access of a flat. It looks pretty ugly, to be fair, and yeah, it's pretty grim. So this is why with some flats, when it's rear access behind the back of the shops, it's not as good, and you're not going to get those high quality tenants. And the last tenants have left me a lovely little treat. I rented this out to the council for 9 years. Those council tenants have now left. And normally, you know, you get the property back, it's clean, it's tidy, and it's all looking good. But here, this is what I've been left with. This is my carport. This is a car parking space, and they have dumped every single thing they didn't want when they left, and now this is down to me to get rid of. And the council basically told me to bugger off. They're not paying for anything, and I've now got to go and get all this dumped, as well as, you know, inside the property was, to put it nicely, less than ideal. But on the plus side, renting to the council, I rented out for 9 years, I had no voids. So from that element, I can't complain, but obviously I've got to get rid of this. I've had to do the property up again, and that was not so good. So this is my opinions on buying flats above shops. You can make money, but it can be harder work as well. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week. Please like and subscribe.